Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. More Blood and Plunder coverage here as we work our way through the remaining French special characters, and today we have a real awesome one, my personal favorite of all the French ones, and just a real badass in general, and that's Francois L'Olonnais, 37 pointer, and he is quite, like I said, quite the badass. So he can lead any French buccaneer or flibustier now force, has a really good command range of 16, so get pretty good battlefield coverage there. And then the, of course, awesome 3 command points to go with that. Brace of pistols and a standard melee weapon. And a nice brace, pun intended here, of special rules to go along with that. So we're going to get, again, great battlefield coverage here with the 16-inch command range, and we can dole out our command points as needed. So let's see what we get for our big 37-point investment here, guys. So right off the bat, we've seen this many a time before. We get very inspiring, great ability, all friendly units within his command range, and again, which is nice to have that larger bubble, so we don't have to be necessarily condensed as far as how we spread our forces out. But everybody within his command range may reroll any failed rally test results. So if we're doling out some command points for rally tests, we get the free reroll out of that, so we're not burning fortune or other things that we could save otherwise for other situations and things like that. So always nice to see that ability. Broadside, we've seen that many a time too. Not quite as good as expert broadside, of course, but it's still a nice ability to have. All artillery fired during the commander's activation are fired simultaneously. Hence, it all counts as the same ranged attack, and all dice for the shoot test are rolled simultaneously. This increases the chances of scoring critical hits. So, yes, fantastic stuff. So, probably more so going to see that, when we're fighting with ships and multiple cannons, but could have multiple artillery pieces, I guess, on land as well. But always nice to see that. Here's one that we haven't seen much of, God's Blessing or the Devil's Luck. So we get 4 fortune points to start the game with. Fantastic. So we can be a little bit more aggressive with those as far as maybe spending one early and maybe just getting a little bit more coverage throughout the game. But that 4th one is certainly wonderful to have. So yeah, love that. Terror, haven't seen much of that, but yeah, if you read the guy's backstory in like the rule book, and we can look online for more details. Yeah, this guy was pretty nasty. At the beginning of a battle, all enemy units must take a resolve test on a D10. If it's failed, that unit gains 1 fatigue. So situational, right? I mean, the enemy could certainly pass all of them, and then really didn't get anything out of the ability. But it's just to, it's there to force the opponent to potentially, maybe have a kind of an annoying first turn where multiple of their units have already incurred some fatigue. It could affect how they want to do things. Do they spend time trying to get rid of that fatigue on turn 1, which will slow them down a little bit, gives you more chances to get maneuvered in positions and stuff like that. Maybe they say, well, one fatigue doesn't really do anything, right? So we're just going to keep acting and get closer, but then maybe you do get some lucky shots on. Now you've piled on that 2nd fatigue. Now we're affecting their actions for future turns. So it's just a fun one. And again, anytime we're going to get to mess with the opponent's whole force for free, basically, is a nice ability. So, and now, especially if they're going also with some units that maybe don't have the best resolve to begin with, that test is can be even more impactful. And even better, let's say for some reason they're just they failed one, and maybe they're wanting to burn a fortune point to reroll that test for some reason. Right? That'd be probably a less than optimal move. But hey, if you can get them to burn a fortune on something that you didn't even have to cause, you just you caused this by showing up. Basically, you didn't have to do any actions to do this, so that's always pretty cool too. But last but not least, right, we get 5 massive abilities here. We get Ruthless. Now, a lot of units will have Ruthless in some combination and stuff as well, but when we see it on a commander, it's nice, right? So because it's just going to apply to his unit. So ideally, if we can put him in a unit that maybe doesn't already have Ruthless, then you're kind of gaining from that, right? Now, on the other hand, if of course we put him in a unit that already has it, obviously it's a bit of a wash. But Ruthless is always nice, right? This unit receives a -1 bonus to shoot tests with small arms, not explosives, and to fight tests against units with more fatigue than this unit. So that's one where, again, depending on the setup, right, if we can, if let's say they fail their terror from the start of the game, and maybe somehow things shake out turn one, we do get into range, maybe take that lucky pot shot. Yeah, it's a very long range, probably low probability of hitting, but hey, we got Ruthless. They're going to have the fatigue, bring in that little bonus. Maybe we get some lucky like 9s and 10s or something on some long range pot shots, or just at other times right throughout the battle. Being strategic with when his unit decides to engage is going to be very crucial. Now, ideally, given how many points he has, we do want to be careful of getting into close combat. So this is something to keep in mind there. But depending on what unit we put him in, certainly if we're taking pot shots and maybe even like just full on like, hey, the whole unit's going to shoot, we should hopefully be able to stack some damage and kill off some enemy models, but also really just apply the fatigue on there and getting that bonus, especially if we're maybe lucky enough to be in a situation too where, let's say we're just really close and we get a bonus, and now we're shooting on like hitting on like 5s or something like that, maybe even 4s in certain situations. Somehow that could be really, really nasty and devastating. And another one where maybe it's a wash too, where we're just kind of like having an average shot. We still get Ruthless kicking in, but that could be one where we want to burn one of those fortune points as well, just to re-roll everything. We got that extra one because of his ability too. So lots and lots of nice combinations of things here that we get for him. So really one of the best French commanders out there too. So the only other thing that would have been cool, just because of the model, taking it from Lorenz de Graaf, would be giving him like something personally that would have been like great for like close combat, like swordsman as well. But really, that would have pushed him over the top, and he'd probably tack on another like 10 points or something like that. But really, personally, like between him and Lorenz, like I said, those are like my two favorite French commanders. Let us know, guys, if you've played games with them or against them. Do you feel like is the hype real, so to speak, for him? And if you've run him, have you run him in the Buccaneers or the Flibustier Now Force? How has that gone for you? Hit us up in the comments, guys. Let us know your thoughts on Francois here, and do you feel like he stacks up as one of the best commanders out there for the French, maybe even best in the game? So let us know, guys, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.